Hey guys, so I want to tell you about my first puker with Lyft, actually. It was with Lyft. I must have done, I don't know, 700 Ubers or something and 600 Lyfts probably, and I just never got a puker. I got people who I knew were going to puke, and I helped them get out of the vehicle, or I think I remember even having one guy puking out the side of his mouth while they were trying to enter the car, and I was like, no. I had a lot of close calls, but I never really had like a true valid puker, Like I never had one. So I was wondering, am I ever gonna get one? And yeah, I'm a nighttime driver. I like to drive at night. I got one, and it was pretty cool actually. Tell you the truth, I came home laughing. I was dying. I was like, it was one of the most hilarious nights I had ever had in my whole rideshare experience. And I think it was like some kids at a college party. They might have been under 21. I don't know. I have no clue. But they were severely intoxicated, and they said that they had just gotten kicked out of the party. So I should have saw a red flag right there and be like, oh, bad sign, got thrown out of the party. But I was oblivious to it, and we were already on the highway. I'm like, cool, cool, cool. So I got to take you guys back to the Navy base, right? Yeah, you got to take us back to the Navy base. You know how to get there, right? Yeah, I know how to get there. Don't worry. So window pops open on the highway on a cold night, and huge red flag. That's it. I know I got a puker, and it's this kid in the back, and I think he's not paying for it. It's the guy in the front who's paying for it, and he's hanging out the window puking, and I say, okay, we're gonna pull over and make sure your friend's okay. So we pull over, and military style, he had puked out the car. Nothing was inside the car. There was nothing on his hands. He wasn't dirty, but he had relieved himself. And it was a cold night, and they seemed like really respectful young guys. So I said, okay, don't worry, guys. I'm still going to take you to where you need to go. Is your friend okay? He seems better. Let's go. And I think I looked through one of the rearview mirrors, and I see puke all over the side of the car. It must have been before we parked, and I had told him about it, and I had told him, we're still going to take care of him. So we keep going, and we are driving back on the highway again, and again, his friend is out the window, throwing up, and it's pretty bad. And I'm like, all right. So we pull off the side of the road again, and we make sure he's okay. And again, like the clean freak that this kid was, there was nothing in the car. There was nothing for me to complain about. His hands were clean. He wasn't a mess. But the outside of the car was a mess. And I know from experience that, you can go to one of these washing places late at night and wash something like that off. It's outside the car. It's possible I can just take it off with water and not worry about it. So we're trying to get to the base, and he starts throwing up outside the car again. And as nice as these kids were, I had to tell the kid, I'm like, listen, that's enough. I really need to cut the ride. I tried to help you guys, and we're outside the vehicle, and I told him, like, look, this is a pretty bad area that we're in right now. You guys don't look like you belong here. And I told him to make sure they get another Lyft real fast, because it was only about 2 more miles till they got to the base. And the guys told me that, since they were such nice guys, that they felt really bad that my vehicle was filled with puke all over the outside of it, and they were sincere about it. And he told me he was going to tip me, and he said that Lyft has a tipping feature, and he was going to tip me $40. So I said, whatever you got to do, to make sure that you feel like this is right, because I feel like, something should be done. I know you can email Lyft and tell them about it, and you can get a cleaning charge, but he went in the app and he started clicking up on the tipping feature. He gave me 5 stars. I gave him 5 stars. And he said he was going to give me 40, and it got stuck at 27 or something like that. And I said, well, if it got stuck at 27, that's fair enough. I think that that's fair. So he tipped, and that was that. I didn't go to Lyft and say, I need a cleaning charge, because I felt like the tip was nice enough, and I felt like this was a real nice kid. And besides, it wasn't him that was throwing up in the car, it was his friend. And he shouldn't have to receive a huge charge because of his friend. So I want to ask you guys how you feel about that. Do you feel like I did the right thing? Um, you know, I feel like I did. I came home laughing. I thought it was hilarious. I just really thought it was funny. I don't know why. For some reason, I mean, I guess you had to be there, but it really was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. And, I figured if I told Lyft about it, that they would shut down his account and he would be in trouble. But I had to five-star him. I thought he was really nice, and I didn't see any reason, if he would have thrown up all over the inside of the vehicle and they would have just ran away and told me to F myself and said, forget about this, then yeah, I would have had no other recourse but to go to Lyft and ask for a cleaning charge. But just because there was vomit and somebody was sick and something happened, it didn't affect my car. I went afterwards and I cleaned it off. And he tipped $27. It cost me $3 to clean it. And I looked the next day and there was nothing else to complain about. It's just like, what if you were driving and somebody vomited out the window and they were in a different vehicle and it got on your car? Would you want $250 to clean that up? So if they puked all over the seat and I had to go to the junkyard and get a new seat, which, I might not even like, it might not be in good condition, or it might be, but it would take me a few days of searching around on Craigslist to find it and going through junkyards and still having to pay $250 to get a new seat, then I would have really hoped that Lyft would have helped me out and understood that. But, it was on the outside of the car. Yeah, it was a lot. I remember taking pictures of it, and just in case I wanted to send it, and it was a ton. But then again, he was a good kid. He was a young kid. He doesn't need a $250 charge. And if I'm the type of guy who's going to go around and charge somebody $250 for something that was minuscule or something that really didn't affect my life, then I would feel like I'm just a bad person. And I feel like if I were to do that, I would get addicted to it. I'd be like, yeah, you puke 250, you puke 250, you puke 250. And real quickly, I would rack up a nice $1,000, which would probably be tax-free because I could prove that I was cleaning this stuff or something like that. I think I would have turned into like an evil person. So, if other drivers are out there doing that, I want them to question their lives. If someone pukes in the vehicle, that they should know how much they would have to pay, and if it got out of hand and it was beyond anybody's fixing, then yeah, Lyft would have to step in, or Uber, and do what they do. And I heard they do a great job of that. So, all in all, that's my puking story. So peace out, love you all, and that's it.